Okay, so welcome to class. Let's see how it turns out. I know you guys can't see them yet. It's my awareness of where they are in the classroom. So if you can see them over there, I'm not quite. So we'll see how it goes. So welcome back. A weekend of intensity and calamity, consideration, and hopefully growth and potential too. Let's sit for a few moments of quiet together, please. Let's see if you want to sit with me. Hi, you want to do some meditation? You sit right there. So you guys are welcome to close your eyes and to find your seat. A reminder that the word asana actually means to take your seat. And the original yoga poses in the texts of yoga were things to sit for meditation or to prepare the body for the experience of meditation. So when you take your seat just now, you can notice the nature of your mind. I'm going to suggest you imagine it like a ceiling fan this morning, and to see what kind of speed is the mind going on, and what is its influence for you. Sometimes the mind, the speed of the ceiling fan is whirling. I have described that before also as the sort of ceiling fan you might see in a third world country where it's not that well installed and it's a little bit wobbly. At other times, the ceiling fan might be kind of inconsistent between speeds. Let's see what happens if you lengthen up through the spine and you imagine the ceiling fan slowing down until it's like a little bit of a calm, soothing breeze. And if you could imagine the ceiling fan has a really consistent, smooth, slow pace, you can start using your breath as if you were, how you're breathing is how the ceiling fan is going. So your thoughtfulness and your pace, your rhythm, will influence the ceiling fan of the mind. Now keeping the spine upright and tall, relax your shoulders down away from your ears. And we'll consider throughout class that the speed of the ceiling fan of the mind and the experience of the breath, they are interconnected. So please bring your hands together at your heart. This afternoon we'll sing Om Namah Shivaya Gurave. May we recognize the teacher within us. That teacher, Sat Chidananda Mortaye, is comprised of Sat Chit Ananda, so truth, wisdom, and bliss. This teacher is helpful in dispelling darkness, Nishprapanchaya Shantaya, and bringing peace, Niralambaya Tejase, and unconditional luminosity. Let's begin. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya tejase. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. And with your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands and please sit upright. And we're going to practice a breathing practice that gets us ready to do a breath practice using the sound of Om. So please interlace your fingers and take the heels of your hands and the palms of your hands facing up towards the ceiling. Okay, and let's inhale to go up. And as you reach up, lift your heart, your collarbones, and your chin. Stretch your throat. And then exhale, pull the hands down behind your head. Squeeze the elbows wide, gaze down. Inhale to go up and to look up. Stretch your throat. Exhale, pull the hands down behind your head and look down. Inhale to go up. One more time, exhale, draw the elbows wide, squeeze your hands down behind your head. Now release both arms wide. And cross your left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you. And as you inhale, lift your chin slightly and gaze over your right shoulder. And then exhale, rotate your throat, your neck, and your head to your left. Inhale, go right with your head. Keep the heart twisting to your right. Exhale, rotate your head to your left. One more time, inhale to your right. And exhale, rotate to your left. Now, keeping your left hand on your right knee, place your right hand on your left and side bend down to your left for a moment and gaze down towards the floor. So you are shortening the left side waist, the left side of your neck. Lengthen your right side waist, turn your chin actively towards your left shoulder. And then inhale, raise up to center, sweep the arms wide. And now cross your right hand to your left knee, walk your left hand around behind you, twist your heart enthusiastically to your left. And when you exhale, gaze with your head and your chin to your right. Inhale, gaze left. Exhale to the right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Now one more time, inhale, gaze left, rotate your heart to the left. And then rotate your head back to center. Place your left hand on your right hand to secure it, to stay there on your thigh. So now as you side bend to your right and gaze down to your right, because of what you're doing with your right arm and your left hand securing that, your side bend will shrink the right side waist. Bring your chin as close to your right shoulder as you can. And then rise up, sweep your arms wide, inhale. And exhale, hands to your heart. And that was to move the heart, the throat, your jaw a little bit. Rest your hands in your lap, please. And we're going to do one round of kappalabhati here. The pace, each time you exhale with strength, you want to also release the activation of the belly so that every exhale has a release after the contraction. So we contract, relax, contract, relax. Okay, let's begin. Exhale. Now inhale through both nostrils up to your suspension. Inhale slowly to that completion. Release the bandhas and exhale through your nose completely. And allow yourself to deeply relax. And observe the ceiling fan of your mind. The breath after kappalabhati may be really subtle. So notice the ceiling fan of the mind, the subtlety of the breath, the relationship between them. So now we're going to use a 4-part AUM sound using the letter A. The letter U will be in the throat. The letter M is in the upper palate. And the silence, the 4th part of the AUM, is moving upwards. So you're really going 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th chakra. So bring your palms together at your heart. And actually rest your thumbs against your sternum so you'll feel the vibration of the A sound, which is going to be ah. And then when the sound is going up to the throat, ooh. When it goes up to the upper palate, the vibration in the heart will tend to kind of evaporate and the vibration comes up. And then the silence, the last part of the exhale, is going up from the upper palate to the crown of the skull. Okay. So inhale Ujjayi through the nose. Beginning with the ah sound. Inhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, Ujjayi. Twice more. Last one. Release your hands to your lap and relax in the echo that practice makes in the inner body and your mind. You have enough oxygen to your system. You don't need to be breathing in any particular way right now. You may observe the ceiling fan of the mind. I will talk more about the methodology of that when we repeat it in class this morning. Let's now come to table pose, please. And I have a crisscross mat, as you guys can see, so I'm not using a blanket for my knees, but you are certainly welcome to do so. That one's mine. No, that's my water. Excuse me. So in table pose, place your hands with their shoulder width apart. We're going to use the AUM sound when we go backwards to child's pose. So just a little clarification. It's 4 parts to the exhale, and then there's that brief exhale pause. So you have the AUM, and thus the exhale continues during the silence there, and then it goes to the exhale pause. Okay, so let's inhale to cat pose first. Now exhale to cow pose. Bring your heart forward. Use the Ujjayi exhale, so you'll hear that inside the inner ear. And then inhale to cat pose. Now child's pose. Inhale cat. Exhale cow. Inhale cat. The AUM sound. Continue twice more. At the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale, you can give a respectful amount of pause to the breath based on your rhythm your pace. Last time through the sequence. Walk your hands back to kneeling. Briefly rise up to kneel and notice what's happening in the ceiling fan of the mind while you're not making any particular effort to do anything with the breath. And then please rise up to standing. And let's take the blocks to place when you come to standing. Join your hands together at your heart. So we'll use the Om sound for Uttanasana and whenever we go to child's pose. Otherwise, we'll be doing Ujjayi breathing. So let's begin. Inhale. Chair pose. Breathe in. Uttanasana. Inhale forward. Left toes back. Inhale, rise. Descend. We're going to step to plank pose with the hands on the block. So touch lightly, then firmly, and inhale, plank pose. Use the strength of your left leg for that transition, and then both legs in plank pose. With your next exhale, come to cow pose. And then inhale, slide your hips forward to seal pose. Exhale, cobra. Slide the shoulders strongly back, bring your heart forward. And then inhale, press down, rise up, seal pose. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, left foot forward, please. Inhale, rise. So beautiful. Good. Exhale, descend. Take your time. Take your time. Touch the blocks lightly this time. Inhale, step forward, heart forward. Uttanasana. Rising up, Urdhva Hastasana. To the heart, Anjali Mudra. Same thing once more. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Chair pose. Listen to the Ujjayi sound so it's hopefully soothing, nourishing to your mind. Inhale, rise up. You'll also notice any changes in the Ujjayi breath might be changes in the mind. Uttanasana. heart forward. Right foot back first this time. Inhale, rise. Good. Exhale, descend. We're going to be stepping into plank pose. So steady your right leg. Inhale, plank. Exhale, in plank pose. Imagine the sound of Om during the exhale. Inhale, in plank pose. And exhale, cow pose. Inhale, hips forward, seal pose. Exhale, Bhujangasana, cobra. Very nice. Now we're going to inhale, rise up. It's like from a reptile to a mammal, seal pose. Plank pose. Inhale, downward facing dog pose. And exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, glide up. Exhale, wide, forward and down. Inhale, step forward, heart forward. Uttanasana. Om. Inhale to rise. Exhale to the heart. And pause to notice the ceiling fan of the mind. Notice the slight changes that will also be occurring when you come from movement to stillness. What happens to your mind? Okay, now taking both blocks, I'm going to ask you to come to a wide stance. We're going to add some twisting into the practice, and I want to further work on neck and throat, this region of the body. So please come down with your 2 blocks for your hands, and my recommendation is going to be you place them either on the medium or a little taller, if that's stable for you, because we're going to be going under one arm. And so having a little bit of height is going to change the dynamic of where you're able to twist in your upper back. So beginning here, the Ujjayi breath should be established. Now steady your right hand, right arm, right shoulder. You're going to turn the right tricep in towards the nose. So the upper inner armpit is actually rotating towards the ceiling. And then reach your left hand under without distorting the right arm or shoulder. So as you're twisting to your right, it's not that you're flaring your right armpit to open. We're twisting from the heart. Your right shoulder blade should still feel kind of wide on the upper back. If it's difficult to cross your hand to the outside of your ankle, you could hold a strap. You could hold your yoga clothing. You could shorten the stride if that makes it easier. Reach your hips back. If you choose to bend the knees, that's okay, but don't skew your hips left to right. Try to keep them centered. Now, as you're twisting your upper back to your right and your heart to the right, see if you can gaze down and back towards your left foot. So you basically have 2 twists going there, one in the upper back and one in the neck and throat. Let's breathe in. And then exhale, release your head and your heart to center. Walk your left hand back out to its block. Now make the left hand firm on the block, please, and steady your left tricep in towards your nose. Roll your left armpit up towards the ceiling so your left shoulder blade is actually wide on the rib cage. Then reach the right hand under and cross it over your left foot, or make a variation as you need to. And as you're twisting your upper back to your left here, try to keep your hips centered, your feet equally grounded. And in this rotation, keep your heart now going left. The pose should not feel like it's deflated or kind of hammocking towards the floor. So as you turn your head to your right as far as it comfortably goes, don't let the torso sink down like a water slide or a hammock towards the floor. So the inner body stays kind of, let's say, stable but supple, not flimsy. And then let's exhale, rotate your nose and your heart to center. Walk your right hand back out to its block. And with your two hands on your blocks, let's try this. Make the block shoulder width apart, please. Come forward to plank pose, arms. Steady your left leg and step your right one back to plank, left foot back to plank. Let's inhale deeply. And then exhale, lightly touch your knees down so you're in table pose. And plan for one block to be there for your head. So you're going to put the two blocks aside. Let's take a deep breath in. And using Om, we're going back to child's pose. You can walk the elbows and hands back to pranam, palms face up. Notice what's happening now with the ceiling fan of the mind. And walk your hands back towards your knees. Please rise up to kneeling. And notice again, when you come up to kneeling, what is the inner feeling of the ceiling fan of the mind? Okay, now we're going to use thread the needle pose, which is one that I know you guys know, but we haven't done it recently. I'm going to take, and I recommend if you have a clip or something in your hair that might get in the way, that you take that out. So what I like to do is step backwards, one leg to plank, come into thread the needle, and then bring that leg back into table. So if you imagine it like this, please come to your hands and knees in table pose, and then step your right foot back to your plank pose. Make the right leg and the right arm strong. You're going to be taking the left arm under and reaching back on this sort of runway here that is the right side of your mat. Yep. And then walk your right hand around your head to give support. And then bring your right knee down towards your left arm. Yeah, like that. Now as you rotate your upper body to the right and your right knee down towards the floor, notice what happens to the breath. which is likely primarily in the lower belly. And then walk the right foot back to plank. Now press into your right hand and return to table pose. Bring your right knee down. Okay, good. Yeah. So now take the left leg back to plank pose and bring your right arm under. So the right hand is palm face up. You could walk your left hand around your head in like a half circle. And as you twist your upper body to your left, bring your left knee down towards your right arm. Notice again where the breath tends to be. And then take the left leg back out to plank pose so it's strong and stable. Press into your left hand and glide yourself back up to table pose and reach back to kneeling. Rest your hands in your lap and notice the ceiling fan of the mind. Okay, now let's take a blanket to sit on. So when you take a seat, if you have to fold the blanket to give a little bit more support, you could fold it in thirds like this. Yeah. And then when you take this seat, let's take the left leg straight out and the right knee up to the chest, please. Lengthen up through your heart there. So sometimes when you step the right foot in, it feels like the back's going to get rounded. So do your best to keep your spine upright. Yeah. And then cross your left hand to your outer right shin. Now, if sitting up on a block means that you want extra support, put your right hand on a block behind you. And please twist to your right. Gaze over your right shoulder. And we're going to inhale, keeping the twist to the right, gazing right. But when you exhale, then rotate your head to your left. And then inhale, gaze right. And exhale, gaze left. Couple times more. You can keep the collarbones wide across the front of the chest and heart. And exhale, gaze left. So you're rotating as smoothly as you can, especially keep a good lift at the base of your skull. Let's do it one more time. Inhale to the right. And exhale left. Okay, rotate around to face forward. Step your left leg in, right leg out. Hopefully you're getting some good movement and good glide in the structures of the spine between the vertebrae and the structures around them. You may have a rotation to one side that's easier than the other. Totally understandable. Try not to exploit the easier side, please. Okay, now we're going to twist. Again, if you need a block, take the block behind you and rotate to your left. Good. Turn your head left for the inhale. And exhale to your right. And inhale left. Exhale, rotate right. Okay. Inhale, go left. Exhale, right. One more time, inhale left. Keep the collarbones wide, please. And exhale, right. Okay, come around to face forward. And whatever version of Siddhasana you do, Siddhasana is when you line the heels up with each other. So it's your pelvis and then one heel inside, one heel outside. If that's truly uncomfortable for you, you can instead cross your ankles. Otherwise, try this out where the hands go wide out over the knees like this. And if possible, place your fingers around your knees and hold firmly there, so that when you go up through the crown of the skull, you might feel the shoulders coming down away from your ears. Now, keeping your fingers firm on your knees, lift your collarbones, lift your heart, and then raise your chin, open your throat. Stretch the chin up to stretch your throat. And then bring your head to level, heart to level. Relax your shoulders. Keep the collarbones wide, but rest your hands now back on your thighs. So you can bend the elbows, slide them back slightly. And take notice again what's happening now in the ceiling fan of the mind. Okay, now we're going to try stretching the throat in one more way, and we'll do one side of the throat and then the other side. So take a block with your right hand behind you, and if possible, put your fingers to point towards you, like you would if you were doing table pose. Okay, take the left hand to the right collarbone and pull down. Great, now press down through your right hand, right arm, roll the right shoulder back, lift your heart up into the downward pressure of your left hand. And then raise your chin. Roll the right shoulder back. And then bring your chin down. Okay, release. Take the block for your left hand and fingers pointing forward towards you like in reverse table pose. Okay, roll the left shoulder back. Take your right hand to your left collarbone, kind of hold it down. So your collarbone and heart have to press up into your hand. Roll the shoulder back, lift up through your chin. It's okay if the left elbow is bent behind you. It really matters what is your height on the blanket, the length of your arm, the flexibility of your shoulder. Press the chin up, please. And then level your head, release your chest and heart. Take the hands one more time to your knees. And let's just take notice what kind of energy you have available in the heart, in your throat. Now we'll do one more time the AUM practice. Let me just describe, just in case any part of that got lost. It's ah in the heart, ooh in the throat, in and the lips are in between the teeth. And the last part of your exhale continues in silence. Then you've contracted the belly for the exhale, and there is this pause that you're resting in before the next inhale. So what I'd like us to imagine now is that we're going to go inhale, inhale, inhale up to the heart. And then the exhale is going to take that energy from the heart and send it upwards in that way. Right? So the inhale is going to give itself to the exhale. Let's begin with the Ujjayi inhale, please. And breathing in. Breathing in. Last one, breathing in. Relax the belly and the breath. You may have a natural inclination for your attention to be between the eyebrows, or perhaps in the heart. You may have a natural sense of meditation right now. You're welcome to stay seated for meditation. If some part of your health or well-being truly needs Shavasana, you're welcome to go to Shavasana. Otherwise, you can stay seated with me and with the others who will stay seated. Make the choice that's based on wisdom for you. Whether you chose meditation or shavasana, invite the ceiling fan of the mind to be very quiet. Neither shavasana nor meditation should be used for thinking or planning. If you're someone who chose Shavasana, now is a good time to make a transition back to meditation. And for those who'd like, you can join the hands together at your heart and we'll sing and call in response. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave. Satchidananda Murtaye. Satchidananda Murtaye. Nishprapanchaya Shantaya. Nishprapanchaya Shantaya. Niralambaya Tejase. Niralambaya Tejase. Om Shanti Om. Shanti Shanti Om. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. I will come up closer to see you. Hi, you're awake now? Yeah, oh, not too awake yet. Let's see if I can change my camera back so you can see me better too. Hi. And how are you feeling?